Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. And what do I want to talk about today is generally the mindset of Indian investors and the traps we tend to fall into while investing. First thing is the mindset of Indian investors. Most investors in India currently still believe that gold is a great investment, real estate is a great investment, and both are very safe. And for the long term, they will compound drastically. And FDs are the best place to hold emergency funds. Historically, that might have been true, but today's market and today's day and age and options which are available, it is not necessarily absolutely true. Gold is a great way to hold your emergency funds. It's much better than FTs because gold beats inflation because it is a storehouse of value. Whatever money you put into gold, it stays in that and it keeps in pace with inflation and even some beats inflation. So it gives you a marginally over inflation and protects your wealth. So any emergency fund which you have, it is great to lock it up in gold. ETFs are the best, which I would say personally for me, because it's easy to liquidate it in case of an emergency, and I can again start accumulating it very easily once the emergency is over. The problem with physical gold is one is storage, the other is sentimentality. Me being a human being, I tend to be very sentimental with when I buy especially jewelry or I have some heirlooms, and I would take these heirlooms and pledge them, and I'll end up taking a loan instead of trying to get rid of the gold and buy gold later. And that involves unnecessary interest cost and loan, all that put together. It just makes sense for me in terms of just my emergency funds to hold it in ETFs. The choice is yours. As far as real estate is concerned, a lot of you will think like a person buys a house in Chennai 8 years back, they bought it around for 65 lakhs, and now they sold it today for 1 crore. And you consider that as a huge return. But in reality, if you calculate CAGR for the above, it is merely 5.53%. Right. If as soon as I say this, I'm sure the people who are in fascination with real estate would come and say, sir, but you would have collected rent. Yes, let's say that 65 lakh flat was collecting 20,000 rupees an average a year, right? A month. So anyway, if I 20,000 rupees a month for 8 years, I'll give you another additional 19 lakhs. So your 1 crore might be 1 crore 20 lakhs. And I'm giving you the bonus. I'm saying I won't consider tax. I won't consider property maintenance. I won't consider AYBZ, which all would have been expenses. I'm saying, okay, I'll give you the 20 lakhs, you'll be 1 crore 20. But if you invested the same amount of money, which you had put in your flat, into the Nifty 50, it would have stood today at 1.67 crores. Gold would have become 1.5 crores. And an FD would have given you 1.12 crores. So if you see it, even the crappy FD would almost catch up, would beat your real estate in value terms and almost in terms in rental yield also if you add it. Gold would have performed very well. And of course, the Nifty 50 is the winner of this. So this is why I say you need to think nowadays differently and not have the paradigm what we used to have before and think, what can I do with my money now? What gives me the best value and how can I get to my goal sooner than later? And these things are the things I wanted to basically tell you today to remember. And few of the other things I wanted to touch upon quickly as we are running past the clock is traps to note before you get into investment. One of the basic mistakes most of you make is you're not diversifying enough. So I would like you to think about diversifying not only in terms of stocks, in terms of different mutual funds, also in terms of different assets, and looking at various ways to diversify your investments. You don't need to diversify when you're just starting with zero. Please don't mistake me. If you have zero and you're starting with zero or starting with a very small amount, you stick to what Anand has been saying about all this time. But if you have grown your wealth over the last 3 years following Anand or 10 years following Anand, whatever you have done, if you've grown your wealth, then you need to look at diversifying it and not have all your eggs in one basket and avoid the risk of market correction affecting you severely psychologically. So diversification could be simple. Let's say you've been investing only in stocks and mutual funds for the last 5 years and you have a huge sum of money there. Maybe the market being priced so high right now in terms of value, you can look at moving them to bonds and taking the interest from the bonds and starting from scratch and again investing in stocks and mutual funds. That's an opportunity. That way you diversify. You've got some bonds and debt in your belt, and then you've started again accumulating shares and mutual funds. Same way you can take some of it and put it in gold if you are very conservative and you're averse to a lot of risk. This is what I mean is a way to diversify. But If you do not have a financial advisor, please get yourself a financial advisor. It is very important that you get a financial advisor to understand what you're doing. Even if you're very good at investing and you've been doing it for a long time, it's always good to have a financial advisor to make sure there's someone to look into your blind spots. Being humans, we all have blind spots and we tend to miss things. And having a financial advisor, it can be very, very useful. And another thing most of you tend to be is either you're very optimistic, where you're trying to go future on options and try to gamble. Otherwise, you're extremely conservative and you think of post-box schemes and, FDs and chit funds and all these things. So have a little bit of a risk, have some appetite if you're very conservative. And if you're extremely optimistic about the Indian market and everything, try and hedge your bets. That's all I'm saying. If you are a kind of person who is so self-assured, there's nothing wrong having a little bit of insurance in your pocket. In case your bets go wrong, you still have something to protect you. The third thing most of you fail to do is getting insurance. All of you are thinking, I have a corporate insurance, so why should I bother? As you've seen in Anand's video and other videos, how insurance can be a lifesaver at times. You do not know when you may lose your job, but your insurance will always be there to protect you. Just the medical insurance is what I'm talking about. And term insurance for people who have nothing. People who do not have a safety net and you have dependence on you, term insurance can be a boon. And the last thing which I want to hit up on is expecting higher rate of return. A lot of you, when you've been talking about the SIP calculator, start putting calculations like 1 crore in 15 years for my goal, education, marriage or anything, and expecting something crazy like 15% return and will plan to SIP 15,000 rupees every month and get to 1 crore in 15 years. Please do remember, there's nothing 100% assured. Okay, be reasonable in your expectations. Markets run in cycles and you need to diversify and you need to know when to pull your investments out and move them to various classes. And there are also tax implications. So always be realistic in your approach. Shashwat will always tell me, Mama, if you are thinking of 12%, in your calculations, I'll assume it to be 10%. I think that's a very sound advice Shashwat gave me and I give it to you free of cost. Let's say you're calculating your goals and you put the percentage of returns as 12%. I would suggest you take Shashwat's philosophy and say, okay, instead of 12, I say it's 10. We do this in weight loss too. Let's say I consume something and supposed to be 200 calories. I'll add another 10% and say maybe it's 220 calories. So that way I get an extra shaving of weight loss because I'm consuming little less than what I'm calculating. And it also prevents me from being overzealous and over-optimistic in my numbers. So this kind of thing what Shashwat says makes perfect sense. So when you're doing these kind of self-calculations, lower your expectations on purpose. So it gives you that breathing room in terms of market corrections and other cycles. And the most important thing is to be consistent. If you're not consistent with your approach and your methodology and whatever you're doing, all your plans are great. But if you're not consistent with it, you will not see the returns. Consistency is the key to success. And trust me, I am still struggling with consistency in all my goals, in all aspects of my life. Financial goals are only one aspect of my life. I have all kinds of goals in all other aspects of my life, in personal goals, relationship goals, parental goals, physical goals. So all of them, if I'm not consistent in them, I can see where my failures are because of the exact dates I failed to be consistent or what else adds up to me not reaching my goals. It's as simple as that. Consistency is the key. Thanks for watching the video today and I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next one soon. Bye.
Good evening. My team has decided to do another event. The last event was at Trivandrum, was a very successful one. So we decided to ask people where we wanted to do an event and my team chose to do an event in Dubai. We are planning to do an event in Dubai on the 24th of February. The event is roughly scheduled between 3:30 to 5:30. It's a Saturday, you will have plenty of time. Those desirous of attending the event or meeting me may contact my team at the WhatsApp number given below or drop an email at the email ID given. My team will contact you and help you. I hope to meet you all in Dubai. It's not only Dubai, anywhere from the Emirates. I hope to see you there. Thank you. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.